took a night shift job at my local museum. I don't think the exhibits are inanimate. I'm not really sure where else to post this, but I've seen people share weird experiences here before, so yeah. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. I'm from a small town. The kind where everyone knows everyone, nothing ever changes, and the biggest event of the year is a farmer's market that somehow feels identical every single time. I was desperate to get out, or at least do something different. So when the local museum posted a job listing for a night shift security attendant, I applied immediately. The pay was surprisingly good for something in this town. My only responsibilities were to monitor the premises, ensure artifact safety, and log irregularities. That last part should have tipped me off, but honestly, I assumed it just meant things like broken displays or maybe someone trying to break in. I got the job within 2 days. My first night, the museum itself is older than most buildings in town. It used to be a courthouse back in the 1800s, then got converted decades ago. During the day, it's pretty harmless. Field trips, old paintings, dusty artifacts, nothing exciting. At night, though, it feels different. I remember unlocking the front doors for my first shift. The air inside felt thick. Not musty exactly, just heavy, like stepping into a place that had been holding its breath for a long time. My supervisor, Mark, met me in the lobby. He was in his late 50s, tired-looking, and spoke like he'd rather be anywhere else. He gave me a quick rundown. Don't touch the exhibits. Don't enter restricted rooms. If something seems out of place, log it. Don't investigate. That last one stuck with me. Before he left, he hesitated for a second, then added, "If you hear voices, it's probably just the building settling." Then he laughed, except it didn't really sound like a joke. The layout. The museum has 3 floors. First floor, local history, old tools, black and white photos, boring stuff. Second floor, international artifacts. This is where things get weird. Third floor, closed off. Under renovation, according to the signs. Guess which floor I was told to never go to? Night 1, the whispering. Everything was normal for the first few hours. I sat at the front desk, occasionally walking around to check the rooms. Around 2 a.m., I started hearing something. At first, I thought it was just the air vents, kind of like a low murmur. But when I stopped moving, it didn't stop. It sounded like whispering. Not loud, not clear, just barely there, like someone speaking from another room with the door closed. I followed the sound up to the second floor. The whispering got stronger near a particular exhibit, a glass case containing a collection of small, carved figurines. They were labeled as coming from an unknown pre-Columbian culture. The placard said they were believed to represent protective spirits. The faces, they weren't protective. They were twisted, wide eyes, stretched mouths, expressions that looked frozen mid-scream. And I swear, when I got closer, the whispering stopped. Just completely stopped. Like something realized I was listening. Night 3, the movement. I didn't work the next night, but when I came back, things escalated. I was doing my usual rounds when I noticed something off in the same exhibit. One of the figurines had changed position. I know how that sounds. I do. But I had stared at those things long enough to recognize them. This one had been facing forward before. Now it was turned slightly, toward the door, toward where I usually stood. I checked the case. Locked. No signs of tampering. I logged it like I was told to, but as I was writing it down, I felt this pressure. Like someone standing right behind me. I turned around, no one there, but I could still feel it. Night 5, the camera footage. By this point, I wasn't sleeping much. I kept thinking about those figurines, the whispers, the way the air felt on that floor, so I decided to check the security cameras. We have feeds for every room except the 3rd floor. I pulled up footage from the previous night. At around 2:17 a.m., the camera in the artifact room flickered, just for a second. Then the angle shifted slightly like something had nudged it. And in that brief moment, I saw movement inside the case, not a trick of the light, not a glitch. Something inside the glass moved. I replayed it over and over. Every time it was the same, a tiny shift, a slight turn like something waking up. Night 7, the voice. This is where I probably should have quit. But I didn't. I don't know why, maybe curiosity, maybe something else. That night, the whispering started earlier. Louder too, not just near the figurines, everywhere on the 2nd floor, and then I heard something new, a voice, clear, close, right next to my ear. "You shouldn't be here." I froze. I didn't turn around immediately. I couldn't when I finally did nothing. But the whispering had stopped again, and this time it didn't come back for the rest of the night. Night 10, the 3rd floor. I know what I was told, I know I shouldn't have gone up there, but something kept pulling me toward it. The staircase to the third floor is behind a locked door. Employees have access, but we're told never to use it. That night, I found the door slightly open. Just a crack. I don't remember unlocking it. I don't remember deciding to go in. But I did. The third floor was wrong. The air was colder, not just temperature-wise. It felt empty, like the space itself didn't belong. There were no exhibits. No lights except the one I carried. Just a long hallway lined with covered objects. Sheets draped over shapes, some human-sized, some not. As I walked, I noticed something disturbing. The sheets weren't still, they were shifting, subtly, like something underneath was breathing. The room at the end. At the end of the hallway, there was a door. Unlike everything else, it wasn't old. It looked newer. Reinforced, locked. Or at least it should have been. It opened when I touched it. Inside, there were no displays, just walls covered in markings. Symbols carved into the surface, overlapping, layered like someone had been adding to them over time. In the center of the room, there was a single glass case. Inside it, there was a figurine, much larger than the ones downstairs, same style, same twisted expression, but this one felt different. It wasn't just unsettling, it felt aware, and when I stepped closer, it smiled. Physically, its face didn't change, but I felt it like something inside my head shifted, like it recognized me. I do think I left alone. I don't remember leaving the room. The next thing I knew, I was back at the front desk. My shift was over, the sun was coming up, everything felt normal, too normal, until I checked the logbook. There was an entry I didn't write, same handwriting as mine, same pen, it said. Subject has acknowledged presence, integration in progress. I don't remember writing that. I don't remember even thinking those words. Now, I quit, obviously, but that didn't fix anything. I still hear the whispering sometimes, not all the time. Just when it's quiet and mirrors, I avoid them now, because every once in a while my reflection doesn't quite match me. It lags or tilts its head when I don't, or smiles just a little wider than I ever would. I don't think those things in the museum were meant to be displayed. I think they were meant to be contained, and I think something followed me out. If anyone else has worked night shifts in places like this, museums, archives, anywhere with old artifacts, have you experienced anything similar? Because I don't think this is over.